it has been a little bit since we have heard from Melanie Mack. Melanie was on our show for the very beginning of our show. She's had her controversies as things go. Look, that it is what it is. We have people on our show that people like, and we have people on our show that people don't like. Whatever. Do I agree with everything that people say that are on our show? No. And you know what? That's the fun of the show. Do we have to agree on everything? No. Do we have to like everybody? Not necessarily, right? But the point is that we haven't heard from Melanie in a good while, right? And she kind of disappeared from the content world for a little bit. And in the last week, she has reappeared with some news. She got married. And that's, congratulations to Melanie. I'm glad she found love in her life. And I didn't know this about her husband, but he also is into video games and all this stuff. And he actually is pretty big in the cosplay world, or at least a big cosplayer. And he posted a video yesterday about how people are upset at him because he married Melanie because she is MAGA. And he is now receiving backlash from the cosplay world because of who he married. Would y'all like to take a look at his video?
Boy, howdy. Absolutely.
Me too. Let's check this out.
I married a MAGA girl, and the cosplay community has canceled me for the grave sin of not being of the hard left. These e-thoughts have taken over the entire community. It's absolutely ridiculous that these people are the moral police, and you have to pass their hard purity tests of say the thing, do the thing, think like me, or else you cannot be here. I've been here for 16 years, and they can go fuck off. Because all they have done is they have gone and gotten a Party City wig, put their honkers out, and then they just make a porn advertisement and call it art. Then they have the audacity to just weaponize all these followers they're getting, these cheap followers from their cheap content, in order to just push people like me out of the space. Because I'll tell you something right now, is that the cosplay community used to be like a playground where there were rules and you just followed them and you just went out and you played. Just very basic rules. Don't be a dick. But now the cosplay community has become a cult. And I did not sign up for that. I signed up to make cool stuff and just have fun with people. Not have to bow down to BLM, bow down to LGBTQ AAIP, bow down to any of this crap. I came to make armor and walk around like the weirdo I am. And now, just like the rest of the gaming space and the media space, these people have infiltrated, and in good faith, we let them in, and now they are taking our spaces and they're making them cults. And I'm not going to stand for that because I'm uniquely insulated. You can come and you can try and cancel me. I will be right here making my stuff. If you want to try and come after my financial stability, you cannot. I am way far good. So you know what I'm going to say to all of you guys? Fuck you. I'm still here. I'm going to make dope shit and you can't remove me. Peace.
All right. So you can kind of see the idea of cosplay being taken over, right? And now it's being gate kept, saying, "Hey, you can't come in." And this is what he's saying over here. And so first and foremost, guys' thoughts. We've seen this in a lot of different things: gaming, comics, all sorts of places where this ideology has taken over. Would love to hear what you guys have to. Arch, let's start with you.
Strident response, absolutely. I don't know any of the specifics around all of this, so I can't speak as to the veracity of it or the accuracy, but it certainly follows the same usual pattern. Yes, if you belong in these left-wing spaces and you do not abide by the orthodoxy, you will be cast out. Absolutely. We've seen that again and again because they cannot tolerate anyone who is not part of their cathedral in this. So I am more than happy to believe that that is probably what is happening. Yeah.
We've seen this in a lot of different things. And actually, Geeky Sparkles from Clownfish actually quote tweeted this. and said, yes, this dude, substitute cosplay for gaming, Dungeons and Dragons, animation, comics, pop culture in general. People just want to have fun. And these fucking retards keep coming in and gatekeeping far worse than the lies about their lies about other gatekeeping them. This brings me to like a bigger question here. These people have infiltrated, whether it's cosplay, whether it's gaming, whether it's whatever, right? They've infiltrated, and then they lock the door on the way out, right? Or they lock the door on the way, and they say, no, you can't come in anymore because you don't think the way that we think right here. They were let in through acceptance, and then they locked the door through their accepting, through being so accepting right here.
Yeah.
How does like somebody retake something like this? Gaming, we said this before, gaming was the first to adopt this nonsense. It'll be the last to let it go, right? But it's in cosplay, it's all these other areas. How do you retake this? Do you just have to start over and create alternatives like we're trying to do, or can you go in and like kick these fuckers out?
We don't know yet. It's too early to say. There are efforts to try to reclaim geekdom spaces. If it is possible, then it's going to have to be very, very strident and aggressive. It needs to be definitionally intolerant, because infinite tolerance leads to you yourself not being tolerated in these spaces. So it has to be a dedication to non-political messaging, to say like, no, you don't get to talk about this here. And it probably does need to be a specific discrimination against left-wing politics as well. I don't even think that calling it apolitical to begin with will work. That is the goal, to reach an apolitical state. But I think to have any hope of getting there, we must first adopt the political stance of this was the left's problem, and this must be placed at the left's doorstep, simply.
I say you got to do it in two steps. Like in the immediate, it's what this guy did was perfect. So the first thing you can do like right now is make sure that you're always vocal and letting other people know that you exist out there, right? Because it's very important for people who feel alone in like their political messaging, because it seems like, boy, the whole world is against my viewpoint and I can't go anywhere, I can't have fun, there's no entertainment I can enjoy. So when people like this gentleman over here who comes out and says, you're not going to take me down, I'm going to continue doing what I want to do, it does a number of things. One, it puts pressure on this retarded side that's in power at the moment. And two, as I said, it lets people like me who go like, oh, maybe I wanted to cosplay. And okay, there are people like that out there. So it makes me feel heard and seen, etc. Okay, the second thing that needs to be done is, in the meantime, also, you need to start making your own events and things like that. And actually, Craig and I, we've actually even talked maybe about in the future allowing cosplaying to happen in events and stuff like that. So it's these little things that you can do. Step one, be vocal and don't take it anymore and never apologize. And then step two is work on making your own events, your own micro gatherings, whatever it is. You start small and then eventually it will grow. And
while doing that, gatekeep, right? It's funny because I go back to even before side scrollers, I was talking, but before side scrollers started, I was talking about doing an event, and I was just streaming like some retro games and stuff. And I said, look, if we ever do an event, I will, I'm not doing like the pronouns thing, right? Like I remember having this conversation on chat. I was like, we'll have name tags or whatever, but we're not doing pronouns on our name tags. And I had a mod at the time who got really pissed at me. And they're like, you're not validating my identity. You're not validating who I am. And I was like, it's not that I'm not validating your identity. It's that you need to validate yourself through this, right? It's a narcissistic thing. And I got to be honest, if somebody needs to call you by your pronouns, then, there's an issue there, right? And so that was just like a little bit of gatekeeping. And you know what? That mod left. I was like, oh, bummer. And they were really, really nice, but they left because I wouldn't validate, they, them, or whatever. All right, bummer, We talk about this has affected other fandoms as well, where like this person says everything he said, but apply it to professional wrestling. I've talked about this before. The internet wrestling community is the the biggest bunch of beta bitches I've ever seen in my life. It's amazing. It may be worse than gaming, as far as the way these people act online. It's crazy. And we see like the quote tweets on this have been spectacular here. There's a lot of like, oh, this guy's a loser over here. What an idiot. You see these responses here. All that, got to attack his looks over here. This one was my favorite though. This comes from Ellie Ross. Here comes the hard right grift from Junkers over here. I'm guessing he's saying this guy is Junkers over here. Says nobody is demanding you be hard left. They just don't want to be. They just don't want to associate with people who willingly associate with the side who actively wishes harm on most of the community. Don't be a dick. Immediately calls out BLM and LGBTQIA crap.
I.e., be a part of the cult or else. I mean, this was the most retarded statement I've ever had to endure in my fucking life.
Also, BLM was a scam. So, what are we doing?
Nobody said that you had to do this thing, but do the thing.
The thing is, you've got to understand, this makes perfect sense in their mindset. All of this makes perfect sense. BLM is not political. Being left-wing is not political. All of this is just being a nice person to them because that's how they define all of it. But being right-wing is obviously political. This is all to do with how they view the world, and it's obvious nonsense. But when you're this deep in the cult, there really is no pulling out. Because again, of course, as Junkers, I assume his name is now experiencing, if you try to pull back from the cult, they will cancel you over it. It is all very performative.
I just wanted to kind of point this guy out a little bit more. This is why this guy's my favorite. And we see this here. This guy over here, don't be a dick, immediately calls BLM and LGBTQI, whatever crap. This guy over here, by the way, you're going to notice a theme. Pronouns here. He, him, and this guy looks like the typical white savior.
Good Lord.
I know. I have no idea who this guy is, but I think we can judge a book by his cover over here. I'm just gonna throw it out right there. He had his statement over here, and the one response to his statement over here, what a fucking chud loser. Look at this person, they, them over here. Once again, are we noticing a theme here, right here? But hey, at least they're very accepting here. So, but this goes back to just the bigger question of, in a situation like this, it's going to need to be, if he wants to reclaim it, he's going to have to fucking stand up. He's going to have to go to these conventions that he's been to before. And when they say, no, you can't be here, he's going to fuck off. Because at the end of the day, they're going to do nothing. They're going to do jack shit. They're going to stand there and go, you're so mean. And he's going to go, fuck you. And then eventually they're going to be upset and they're going to leave and they're going to need to start their own thing. You just stand up to these fuckers. Nothing is going to happen. It's almost like you can just say no. It's amazing. So, yeah. And gatekeep the shit out of your hobbies. This mistake has been made. Otherwise, you get fucking this guy hanging out here and being all upset about you. Like
he looks like a girl transitions to a guy, but he's still a guy. So it's like the worst possible look ever.